Hey everyone, this is Cameron from the Audio Editing Bay. It's very unfortunate we have to speak in this circumstance, but it appears as though we have recorded the entire podcast from a brand new MacBook Pro. Now, although the features of this laptop are quite prestigious and it appears as though the audio is surprisingly listenable, unfortunately, it is ultimately a laptop recording three dorks screaming inside of a man's kitchen. So, despite our best efforts, this episode is going to be a lot sketchier. If you're a fan of that guerrilla feel, this is the podcast episode for you. Otherwise, be honest with yourself. If you don't like the echo of a well-decored dining room, this is going to be a difficult episode. So thank you all once again for your support. Please bear with us in this episode because despite it all, it is a good one. And thank you for your patronage and your listening. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Super Chats. I'm Nick.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Carlos.
This week we're going to talk about a whole bunch of great stuff. I don't really have an introduction. We're just going to go.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
So, let's go ahead and jump right into it. It appears as though I'm the one who's leading the charge. Ladies and gents, I have a proud announcement to make. Sometimes the accent picks you. Remember that, kids. Our favorite tree lady, Fauna, has hit 700,000 subscribers. That's more than 10.
That's a lot more than 10. Congratulations, Fauna. This is a good way to start the week. We got a nice little celebration.
She did a hype stream to reach her goal. Now, I don't actually remember. What was she playing for the hype stream?
Wasn't she just singing?
I thought she was doing karaoke.
That'd make the most sense because that's pretty popular for whenever you're getting close to it.
Yeah.
I know she did that one week where she did like a 12-hour stream. That was nutty with a lot of really good highlights from that. Either way, it is fantastic to see her fucking reach this. I'm very proud of her. I want to see her reach 1 million. I will not be happy until that tree is 1 million strong.
Well, she's really been picking up steam recently.
She really has been.
She's been on her game, too. I mean, she's letting the Unhinged come out in the right ways at the right times. She's not, like, forcing weirdness in any way. It feels like she's just kind of letting her guard down a little bit, letting the natural zaniness of Fauna come out. And I'm really happy to see it. There's some really good clips out there for right now.
It was really satisfying to see this news after our discussion last week where we all kind of had a moment to just appreciate how hardworking and unique she is. Especially because last week we talked about how unhinged and weird she is. We had the gummy bear story. We had her weird thumbnail for Penumbra. Like, we just really sat down and highlighted how much of a weirdo she is, and now she's rewarded for it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can claim all credit for it.
Yes. Fauna, surrender your channel.
Yes, it is ours now. We claim the right.
Another big part of her celebration that she's been leading the charge on is she's been making Big Tree in Minecraft.
I've seen some pretty good clips of this. I watched her fly into a wall 8 times, repeatedly, the same wall over and over again.
And we saw the big neck clip together.
The big neck clip, yes.
That was great.
Her tree building experience has been about, an hour or two here and there of talking with about 5 seconds of building, followed by 45 seconds of falling.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she flies into a wall 30 times. I'm loving it, frankly. It's very good. Not a lot of progress is being made, but it's fun to watch either way.
And, I don't know, she's had all kinds of weird, crazy things to say just when she's been bored building for hours at a time.
Oh, God, she's so easy to listen to as well. Like, she's a good storyteller. She knows how to get unhinged and come back from it, which I think is a unique talent.
Yeah.
Like, Goober will say things that there's no recovering. The vibe is permanently damaged.
Yeah, and also Fauna's voice is just very listenable. It's a very light-hearted voice,
I wish she would pretend to be my older sister.
That's weird.
There's a video for that.
There's a lot of videos.
There are several videos.
Do you ever want Fauna to really, really like you more than you should? Because there's videos for that.
Yandere.
Yeah, so I mean, like, she puts out great content. She uses her voice really well. Again, she has a very light, airy voice. And she knows how to play the meme game. So.
You ever notice how it's kind of weird that, like, Yandere is, like, popular? Because, like, oh, man, this anime girl wants me. But when it's, a person from the same city as you, it's not as exciting.
Yeah, I kind of understand where you're going with this.
Like, imagine Yandere, but she goes to Sheets, and you knew her from high school. Like, that's different.
Yeah, it's Yandere is fun when it's someone exotic and interesting and attractive, and then, like, you look at, like, people from your hometown that might, like, if they're yandere towards you, you're like, oh, I understand why this is problematic now.
Yeah, and I think that's to say that, like, yandere is more fun the further away it is from your reality.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is why it's interesting in conversation with the serial killer obsession, which we do not have the power to get into. It's just weird.
Do you mean like the whole culture around serial killers in general?
Yeah, like how people get obsessed with serial killers and send them letters saying, please impregnate me. Like,
oh yeah, like all the Bundy fans and stuff?
Yeah, like that's super weird.
It is pretty weird, especially because they're literal murderers and have killed many people.
Speaking of literal murderers, we have some updates on Crony.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting transition we've decided to go with today, but let's go with it.
I love that transition. That's why I shot for it. So Crony has continued to stream despite not having a jaw. I think that's what happened. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, she
did the soundboard stream, right?
Yeah, she tried to stream, or not. I don't think she tried to stream right away, but she's popped into other people's streams and tried to talk to other people a handful of times. Didn't go so well.
Yeah, she didn't miss the birthday stream.
Yeah, I kind of wish she had.
I really wish she had.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I get secondhand embarrassment really bad. I also feel secondhand pain really bad, and hearing her talk made my mouth hurt. Like,
I can see that.
Yeah, it was, and again, it's great to see Crony being involved with her friends, and it's great to see Crony, like, having that oomph to get back on the saddle as soon as possible. But again, I want her to heal.
Here's the thing. I can relate to her. I would sooner get hoisted up like Scott Sterling before I miss an appointment. Like, I'll take a beating. I'll pretend I'm not sick. I'll tough it out. And I think that's kind of what she's doing. Like, I think that's her attitude.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, she had the text-to-speech stream with a soundboard, and then it wasn't more than like a few days later, and she did her own birthday stream talking for like 2 hours.
I saw some of the birthday stream, which, first of all, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So the birthday stream, though, yeah.
Yeah. And the stream was good. She actually did manage to talk during it. I only saw a little bit of it. In particular, I saw the bit where she accidentally showed the merch clip too soon. And she's like, what? There's an order to this? No, come on. It doesn't matter.
That sounds like Crony. It's a good dodge. I like it.
I think I did notice that wasn't a call-in birthday stream for once, right? It was just like her hanging out.
Yeah, she was just hanging out.
I mean, it's probably fine.
I think that was
really
the goal,
converse, so.
was to make no social obligation in case at any point her jaw continues to not be good.
And I remember part of it, too. I believe... I missed the part where she started, but she ended up with, like a 1 to 200 page PDF of people that had... It was like the community had come together and made messages for her.
I did see some of that.
And she was reading through it, and at some point, she made it, like, a huge way through. And she's like, oh, what page am I on? I'm on page 102. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I'll skim a little bit of it for now, but I'm going to have to read more of this later.
I mean, like, it's impressive that she went that far, frankly. Again, she should... I'm being, like, an old lady about this, but I'm like, you should be in bed, young lady.
You shouldn't be reading PDFs. Back in my day, we didn't have PDFs.
And traveling to Japan.
Yeah, tell us more about that trip.
To Japan, like...
I didn't know a whole ton about her trip, so I'm excited to hear about it.
Well, she went back after her surgery, and it's like, why? Please just sleep. Go to bed. Like, again, I'm a worrywart. I want her to heal as best as possible so that we can get her back at her best as soon as possible. But that's my viewpoint on things. I understand how deeply boring and upsetting it can be to not do anything for a long period of time, frankly. I understand the drive to want to create. I understand the drive to want to be there for the people that are supporting you. I get it. I really do. My standpoint is you should heal first, but obviously she's going to do what she's going to do. She's a big girl. She can make her choices.
Especially considering like all of her fellow friends and VTubers are all in Japan right now too.
Yeah,
it's a very
she would be missing
time.
out. So she's been talking about it. She's been going out and having a good time anyway, the best that she can, even with everyone forgetting that she can't eat and going to nice restaurants.
She doesn't get to eat. Yeah, she does not get to eat the tori karahage.
Yeah, hell.
So,
if I was in Japan and I couldn't eat, I would leave Japan.
That's half the reason to go to Japan.
I'm such a food tourist. Like, I'm not going to discuss my trip to Canada too much, but I had sushi, I had ramen. In Canada, I had poutine too. If I couldn't
And
eat...
Timmy's. He had Timmy's.
Yeah, I had Timmy's, rest assured. If I couldn't eat while I was on a trip, that would be pain. I am such a tourist of the foods.
Yeah, that's half the reason to go anywhere, is to try the local
Yeah.
foods, to see what's different there. I mean, you went to Canada and tried sushi, so you didn't really try the local foods. I mean, you tried poutine and stuff, like you
Yeah.
said, but...
But even
I mean-
then, like, I went to a restaurant that was renowned in Toronto. I went to that one sushi place that had, like, the 2 stars from the Michelin Man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's worth it to travel because you get these experiences that you're not going to get in your hometown.
It's hard to appreciate the culture of a place and its food when your jaw feels bad.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's a rough spot to be in, so...
When I got my wisdom teeth taken out, was just sobbing into instant mashed potatoes for, like, 7 days.
Believe it or not, the last time I went to Toronto, I had a tooth infection.
Oh.
And I basically survived on a lot of Tylenol, a lot of ibuprofen, and a lot of whiskey.
The breakfast
Which is
of
not a
champions.
good choice.
It's a great choice, kids. Aspire, be this man.
No, my kidneys shut down. They didn't, but I mean, my liver probably took a little damage from that trip. 100% though. I mean, I got to eat poutine, and I got to try some Timmy's, and I got to do a few Canadian things while I was in Toronto, and that was great. It was well worth it. It sucked, and it hurt a lot, but sometimes, you know, and I get it, Cronny. Never mind. I take back everything I said.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do it for the experience. I get you. I can't blame you. This is me learning and growing in real time. This is
Real-time
what you're
growth.
seeing.
So you understand the situation of going to a fried chicken restaurant and having to order curry and having the chef look at her in disappointment.
Yeah.
Oh.
It would be very sad. But I understand because, again, when I went to Canada, there were things I couldn't do and things I couldn't eat, but I was drunk off my face half the time, so it's hard to remember a lot of it, if I'm honest.
I realized something.
Yeah.
And this is such a tangent, but it's making me laugh in my brain.
Okay.
What's more powerful? The waitress coming over to you and going, "I'm disappointed in you," or the chef coming out from the back?
Chef. Immediately chef. Like, the waitress, you're interacting with her naturally anyways. The chef's going out of his way to tell you that you're a disappointment.
Yeah, but even more, that's more powerful than the manager saying it.
Oh, easy, yeah. Manager's front-facing. Chefs aren't. Like, if a chef comes up to you, you fucked up. Like, something's wrong.
There is no reason for you to meet this man.
No, not ever. The most that you should ever interact with a chef is saying, "Tell the chef he did great." And that's if you're some kind of pretentious nerd. But outside of that, unless you're in a Michelin-style restaurant where the chef is making food and cramming it into your face, like, there's no real reason to ever interact with a chef.
That's essentially what happened to me.
Why?
What?
Why did you do... Oh, you in the positive way. He wasn't disappointed in you, right?
No, she was very happy with me.
I apologize, I misgendered them. She
Yeah.
was very happy with you eating the food, though,
Mhm.
right?
She made me sushi. She put it on a leaf, and she said, "This is tuna."
Oh.
I ate it. I said, "This is good." She didn't reply. She was already making the next one. And then out of nowhere, she goes.
She doesn't care how you feel because she knows that what she's done is perfect.
She looks up while she's making the eel, and she goes, "Have you seen The Last of Us?" And I go, the show? She goes, "Mm-hmm." It's like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." She goes, "Yeah, I love it." Here's eel.
You're giving me the name of that restaurant later. I'm going to
I
Canada
promise you.
next weekend.
I promise you. Now, I was in Canada at the time, so I actually wasn't able to watch this, and I wanted to watch this so bad. Carlos, please tell me about Bay watching Chainsaw Man. I was ready. I wanted to rewatch Chainsaw Man with Bay.
I hopped in for 5 seconds of this, and I was like, okay. And then I left.
So I hopped in what I thought was towards the end of it, because I hopped in on episode 6, which, by the way, was a fantastic episode to hop in on. They did not appreciate that episode or the next one a whole lot.
Was this episode 6 with the Eternity Devil?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So, Chainsaw Man, folks, you know where we're at now, right?
It goes straight in from the Eternity Devil into the vomit scene, and
Oh, yeah.
she wasn't happy.
I can't imagine she would be.
She was roasting the chat for their choice and favorite characters.
She probably liked the outro song, though. The choo 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 choo.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But man, I watched. I think she was going to stop at 6, and the chat convinced her to watch 7.
Oh!
Which is where things really
Kick off.
kick off.
For those who haven't seen Chainsaw Man, I'm not spoiling anything. 7 is a really hard episode to have be the last one you watch tonight.
So she
The
watched.
cliffhanger ending is intense.
Possibly the harshest cliffhanger in the series.
It's so good. I'd argue that, but we're not talking about any.
No, the anime series.
Yeah.
I think the other episodes are like
Fair.
rough, but not impossible.
Fair. In what's been animated so far, you're completely.
Oh yeah, there's stuff coming up in the manga that's like, you gotta give me the next 5 hours. I'm not okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not gonna be okay for a while.
It's real good. This isn't an anime podcast, though. Continue, Carlos.
No, we're just talking about anime girls playing video games. Go ahead, girls.
But anyway, I ended up watching up to 9 with her,
Whoa.
and
Oh,
that
really?
she had started that day too. By the way, as far as I'm aware.
Goals.
So I watched up to episode 9, and she's like, "Okay, I'm taking a break. I'll be back. We're finishing it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I can't do this. I got work. You have fun watching the last 3 episodes."
I'll have to spin back around. I'm hoping like the Clippers got to that, or the VOD's available somewhere still.
The VOD's available.
Good.
Well, that's good, yeah. Because she doesn't show the show; she just has timestamps.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I didn't expect. I thought she had like a deal with them where she could watch like 2 episodes or whatever.
Oh no, it's never a deal.
But at the same time, I expected her to watch an episode or 2, not the whole series.
I kind of expected it, having watched so much Chadcast. I know her and Iris are like power watchers. We're like, if we're gonna watch something, we're consuming it tonight.
I mean, that's fair enough. If that's the way they roll and stuff, if they're binge watchers, then hell yeah.
I can heavily relate to it. There's some shows where it's just like, I have to watch it all in one sitting, or I'm going to go insane.
I mean, I've had shows like that, but I'm a very moderate person when it comes to these things, so I tend to watch a few episodes and go, that's enough for today. And then I go and play a video game.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, that's enough for today.
I mean, yeah, like I average like 2-hour play sessions at most. After 2 hours, I'm like exhausted of a video game. I don't want to play it anymore, Carlos.
I can do long sessions, but most of the time I'd rather not.
Yeah. As don't get me wrong, there's been times in my life where I would sit down and be like, what's World of Tanks? And then it would be a month later and I'd have like
What happened
somehow
in my world?
have a solid 2 weeks of game time. And I'd be like, where am I? But
Nah, my 10-hour like MMO Call of Duty sessions,
Oh, God.
I can't do that anymore.
yeah, we're not as strong as Corona.
No.
That doggo got power.
Corona.
Corona?
What has God wrought?
Bredo doggo?
Time dog.
Speaking of her though,
Yeah.
her and Kaela are both keeping up their extreme streaming stamina.
Yeah.
So she streamed another game for 21 hours straight.
Corona played Kurukuru Kururin, which is a Japanese. It used to be a Japanese exclusive game. Recently, the original, I think, for the Game Boy Advance came out on the Nintendo Switch in the US as well. So you can go back and check out that game. Basically, you control a spinning stick and you have to guide it through mazes without smacking it against the walls.
Oh.
Otherwise, you lose.
I despise that game.
It's difficult. It's frustrating. It makes me scream in anger, and also it's really fun. And Corona played it for 21 hours straight.
How?
Because she is the doggo.
You're the man now, dog.
Yeah, you're the bread now, doggo.
Finally, quality content.
Yeah. Did you know she's a King Charles Spaniel?
I should have.
Yeah. Why didn't you know that, Cameron?
Doggy God literally spells it out for you.
Yeah. She's a King Charles Spaniel. Anyways,
Are you?
that's enough Corona lore for the day, I believe.
Yeah.
Check out her 21-hour live stream if you have 21 hours you need to kill for some reason.
Apparently, towards the end of it, she was starting to go a little insane, which does not surprise me.
She's already a little insane. That's why she's great.
Wow.
And scary. And great. Anyway, if you're on a flight to Japan and you have
You got nothing else
21
going on.
hours to kill.
So we have 2 paths. We can either keep going linear, and this gets into some slightly negative news that I don't think I ran by you guys, but it's still VTuber news.
Yeah, go for it.
You want to talk about a term?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's talk about some terms.
Let's talk about term.
Let me make sure I got it right. So there is a member of
Ninji Sanji EN.
Ninji Sanji. Thank you. I've never had to say that word out loud.
Yeah.
It's always been quietly in my brain.
Yep, that's I as far as I know, it's pronounced Ninji Sanji.
One of their livers, I'm going to butcher her name because I've literally never heard it said out loud. I'm sorry if you liked her. Zion Lanza.
That's how I pronounce it. Yeah.
So, again, I've never seen a second of her. I was introduced to her by learning that she got termed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the story based on what I was able to learn during a very long car ride home. At some point previously, she's only been around for like a couple months. So, speedrun.
But that unfortunately does happen at times, yeah.
She did some bad behavior, nothing super outrageous, but enough that managers go, please stop streaming for a little bit. We're going to discuss what you did. They discussed what they did. She showed no signs of improving. They then announced that she is being removed.
Yeah. It sounds like she was a bit too cheeky, a bit too much.
100%, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, she cut a little too close to the cloth, I believe is the term. She basically she said a bunch of stuff she probably shouldn't have. She made jokes that she shouldn't have. She liked things on Twitter with alternate accounts that she shouldn't have.
Let's go down the list, because it turns out this article from Siliconera, which I literally just saw today, has a list.
Mm-hmm.
Infringements that Zion Lanza committed during her time with Ninji Sanji, this is a direct quote, are using a copyrighted song in her stream without prior authorization.
Bad.
Revealing internal information, I knew about this, that can potentially cause issues for stakeholders.
Very bad.
Don't reveal the innards of your company.
Especially when you're a VTuber, your life is based around secrecy at that point.
Exactly. Making statements that could lead to speculation or leaking of internal information using social media accounts that she personally operates during her active suspension time.
So she was suspended already, and then she kept going on other accounts.
Offensive remarks regarding discrimination and sexual assault.
Very bad.
Infringements of the rules pertaining to the use of games defined by any color ink. Expressing her will to perform streams using illegal games, also referred to as pirate games. Okay, if you're in a company that's making the deals with the devs, you can't talk about that, unfortunately. Comments that can be considered offensive to the rights holder of a game during her stream. This goes back again to be careful around the brand.
Yeah, you work for a corporation, you have to adhere to the law.
You are the face of the corporation. What you say is interpreted as the opinion of the corporation. You must compose yourself. Comments that can be considered offensive to the rights holder giving false information to other Ninji Sanji and livers regarding the contents for communications. So she's just running around. Again, apologies if you were a fan of her. We know nothing. We know absolutely nothing.
We're just reading from the article at this point.
Falsely claiming to be sponsored by a brand during a if you know what happened during this,
okay, so
that's weird.
You say that's weird. I say I completely understand, because as a joke before, I've just immediately looked at people during like live streams that I've done and videos that I've done and just said, "Hey, have you heard about Raid Shadow Legends?" Yeah, and then gone into a spiel. Not being sponsored. We aren't sponsored by anyone.
Yeah, but is it a spiel to talk about how this game has so many cool characters?
Exactly. Like you just go off. It's funny. I could see someone doing that as a joke.
That's why I want clarification, because it's like, was this a bit, or did she say HelloFresh and never clarify? Like,
yeah, exactly. Harry's is there for you.
Your balls are covered in hair and sweat. Introducing Gentleman's Ball Shaver.
There you go.
Butter. Comes with butter.
Does it come with balm for your balls? Anyways.
Giving likes to comments falling under defamation of Ninji Sanji livers in any color ink using social media accounts that she personally
Don't
operates.
shit talk your coworkers.
Numerous other actions and comments infringing the contracts.
Again, okay, so it sounds like she...
Wow. It just sounded like she just didn't want to be a VTuber.
Yeah, not one...
She'd be happier indie.
Yeah, exactly. That's a heavy indication that you're going to be indie.
Because pretty much all indie ones do stuff like that.
Yeah,
because they can get away with it.
Yeah, they can be cheeky. They can be, off the wall. They can say things that, corporate employees cannot say, especially when they're public facing. And that's great. Go be indie. You obviously aren't cut out for the corporate workplace in that.
If you're working for one of these big companies, you're working at a Starbucks. Like, you're no longer like the cute person strumming guitar in the corner. You're in a company, and they're going to eat your soul.
You sold out, man.
Yeah.
Like, Ninji Sanji is, at least compared to HoloLive, they're a lot lighter. Like,
yeah.
You can say and play a lot of games that you can't do with HoloLive. Yeah. You're already eased up a lot. So
Again, I'm sure there will be information that comes out at some point potentially that might give us a firmer indication. We might just have to read a little bit more about what happened. We're going off the one article we've read.
And
but
I did read around to get the general impression, and most people weren't surprised.
there you go.
If you feel differently, and for some reason you're hearing us scream into the void, please tell us more about her.
Yeah, let us know, because we'd really like to know if there's more information out there about this. I personally would. I'm curious about this.
And tell us a bit more about you.
Yeah, why not? Let us know what you're into.
Like, tell us about what wallet you're using. Did you know that
Stop, move on.
That was a great bit. You know what else is a great bit? Kiara and Gura playing 1-2 Switch.
Kiara had some good things this week.
Tell me more, please.
Okay, so Kiara and Gura played 1-2 Switch. Never played 1-2 Switch. It was a launch title for the Switch.
The cow.
You milk the cow. You use the Joy-Cons. Each person gets one Joy-Con, and one of the things is you milk the cow. Look up the Noelle clip. It's out there for a reason. There's another game where you take the Joy-Con and rub it all over your face to shave your face. There's one where you tilt the Joy-Con around and you have to guess how many balls are in the Joy-Con based on the rumble. It's just a bunch of little mini games that you play competitively with one other person. That's the setup. That's what they were playing.
So it wasn't just enough that they were playing 1-2 Switch. They were also playing Bean Boozled.
Yeah, and Bean Boozled is a game where you get a bunch of jelly beans, and for every jelly bean color, there's a good flavor and a bad flavor. And so you eat the bean, and you find out while you're eating it if it's good or bad. Now, I have personal experience with Bean Boozled.
I have personal experience with Bean Boozled.
Some of my friends and I do a charity live stream every year for Extra Life in order to raise money for a children's hospital. And generally speaking, if you donate $5 and you pick a person, they eat a Bean Boozled. I got dog food twice in a row and almost threw up. Somebody had paid $25 for me to eat 5 Bean Boozled. 2 of them were dog food. There were 2 other. I think one was rotten fish, and one was just garbage, and then the last one was mint flavored, and I was like, well, I guess that one's alright. It doesn't really make up for the rest, but there's clips out there I can link in the description or something. But
apparently there's vomit. And...
It's a charity, you dick. So yes, help us raise money for kids. We'll see you guys in, I think, November. I haven't looked up when it's happening this year. Go ahead, Carlos.
I was just saying, there's I think vomit was the big one that they're really hoping to avoid. Well, Kiara was really hoping to avoid. Gura got the bright idea of if they reached the end of their games and didn't find it, that they should split them 50-50 and pound them all at once.
That's so Gura. That's the most Gura statement I've ever heard.
Let's just go full goblin.
That's what she said before she got the snot flavored.
Oh no.
That
I will put my personal guarantee on dog food being the worst thing in the world.
Did Garbooger not enjoy snot?
No. She spit that one out.
I saw this clip and she was like, it is salty.
Huge coward.
Oh, I couldn't eat. I've spit them out before. They're terrible. Not the snot one specifically. Again, the ones I had to spit out.
I've never had one of the bad ones. Every time I've lucked out, and dude,
your RNG is god tier.
It's pretty good RNG. Bean Boozled gives me more anxiety than I can feasibly communicate. You just hold it in your hands. This is either dog shit hell or worse, a normal jelly bean.
There's no winning.
I've already lost.
Yeah, again, 4 out of 5 were bad last time I did Bean Boozled, I think. So, I hate Bean Boozled. Look forward to watching me eat some in the future. I'm sure I'll have to again this year.
Speaking of the future, we had another member of HoloLive, believe it or not. Wow, HoloLive, who has a bright future because she has moved further away from her mother. Which is a joke.
The goal of all humans.
Because Pecco Mama is quite a lovely lady, but unfortunately Pecro needs better internet, and she has moved.
Yes, she has moved out of her parents' house. The dream of all neckbeard. I mean... congratulations to Pecora for this. This is a big move, obviously, in anyone's life. It's really good for her, I'm sure. And frankly, it's great that HoloLive and working for a company has given her the chance to do this.
Oh, yeah, and it helps that she's extremely successful inside the company as well.
Yeah, she's only one of the most popular VTubers.
Yeah.
In the world.
It's honestly surprising to me how many VTubers, specifically in HoloLive, that we've seen that have been living at home and have moved out within, a couple of years of doing this.
Yeah, Ina is one that comes to mind for me personally.
All you have to do is play a couple video games and do the mandatory make Yagu's dream come true karaoke, and you get a house out of it, Carlos. Will you do it?
It'd be worth it.
It'll be
I'm
worth
in.
it.
Hollow Stars, here I come.
Yeah! I can't wait to kiss other boys.
They are all about that.
They all love kissing each other.
Boys will be boys.
Oh, that's a good Panic at the Disco song.
Sure.
Believe it or not, they exist. It was a good reference, but I knew immediately I stepped in dog poo because I could feel Nick's fumes beginning. But yeah, Pecora moved out.
They're better than My Chemical Romance.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry, Callie especially. Yeah, but
I mean, getting kicked in the nuts is better than My Chemical Romance, though. So.
Pecora moved to an apartment, and
Spice Sticks.
the most interesting thing about it is that she's living a lot closer to Marine.
Oh boy, let me be surprised. I'm not. Those two are so great together, though.
Oh yeah, I've seen some stuff with them together.
They're.
I've seen streams, live streams.
We've all seen the live streams. Don't be weird.
So,
Yeah, honestly, the one that comes to mind is the 3D stream they just did, where they showed up and they immediately. Their chemistry's great because Marine's over the top and horny, and then Pecora is just like, stop it, we're idols.
I think what helps is that they're both very gag-oriented people.
Yes.
Like, Pecora will play up a bit, and Marine will dive and vanish into a bit.
Yeah. And they just know how to work off each other really well.
Yeah, they both have a love for similar comedy, I feel. And Pecora is very willing to beat the butt of the joke, sort of, and Marine especially.
Yeah.
Like, Marine will look like an idiot if she thinks it's funny.
I was saying that Pecora really is just like, stop it, we're idols, and then she commits war crimes.
Yeah.
So, like...
Hypocrite.
And the two of them were the guests for Gura's 3D debut, too.
That's the one I was referring to.
Yeah.
Right.
They did real good job together on that, too.
Yeah. They do, honestly, do really good comedic work together, frankly. So.
Yeah, so hats off. Congratulations on moving around. And I brought him up earlier, but we should talk more about Best Girl.
Oh, yeah, Best Girl Yago. Yago got to appear on camera for us this week, which was really cool. He appeared with Podoka and Botan, and they showed off Hollow Earth, which is a game that's currently in development.
That was that weird MMO game, right?
Yeah, it's. I think it's an MMO. I know it's multiplayer at the very least. So we got to see some crafting. They built an office for HoloLive in the game. And then we also got to see them kill a bear and then take the bear and stuff the bear and put it in their office that they made. It was pretty great overall. And it was also obvious that Yago is not super used to being on camera, especially when it comes to live streaming. He held his own pretty well, but it is one of those things where, like, Polka and Botan were both, laughing and having fun and stuff, and Yago was like nodding, and like
it's always
well,
it's always hilarious. Every time he makes any appearance on any VTuber stream, it's always the VTuber going absolutely insane, and he's like sitting there with his hands folded as a calm Japanese businessman.
Yeah, I think the best thing I've ever seen him, the most expressive I've ever seen him, was during one of the streams where they were like, all right, here's some props, and they were like, do something and make us laugh. If we laugh, then you win. And he immediately made everybody laugh. And because he was just like, old man making mochi, and he like took a hammer and started shooting. Yeah. Again, Yago's like a really funny guy. He's good, just like anybody else. And he's, there's a certain level of like how loosened up you have to be whenever you're doing this kind of stuff. But,
it's so weird how he's kind of become like a unifying joke amongst all of HoloLive.
Oh, I love it.
Like,
I love it so much.
You could talk to some EN scum about how like Pecora's a war criminal or Susie's insane with a psycho killer axe or whatever, and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But you can talk to anyone from any branch and say, Yagu Best Girl, and everyone goes, yeah!
Yagu's Best Girl!
Yeah! Like, it crosses the cultural divide across all the axes of the world. We unite together under the umbrella of Yagu's dream.
Yep. Yagu's dream, Yagu's tears.
My favorite thing is still the fountain in one of the EN maps where it's just Yagu crying.
Yeah. And there's the clip of Kiara and Pomu drinking his tears. Kiara's like, it's what sustains us. Yeah, so Yago, again, is a meme, but he's also the creator of Cover Corp, HoloLive. I don't know how it breaks down structurally, I guess.
If
But
Yaku would like to come on the podcast.
yeah, Yago, we'd love to have you on the podcast.
Okay, I think the bit has run its course. I just invited the
never
computer.
ending. It's all right. I get it. But Yago, again, is, like you said, he's a unifying force. He's a great guy. He's a family man. He works hard. One of my favorite clips of all time is whenever, like, the subreddit discovered an old picture of Yago advertising an old video game that he had worked on, and, like, sent it to Coco. And then Coco's response was, "Where the fuck did you find this?" Like, she was just so confused and astounded because it was like from a magazine clipping from like the 90s, and she was like, "How did you do this?" Like, so again, he's just this great unifying meme force, and he's just fantastic. Thank you, Yago, for HoloLive.
Thank you, Yako. And thank you, HoloCure developer, for working hard to fill your game with so much content. I know you're busy working on anime, you have a job at video game studios, you're a very hardworking man, but you know what? For once, you made an update to have... Bad news, everyone. Unfortunately, Kaela has 100% in HoloCure.
Oh. Back to work.
Unfortunately, part of their job description must now be to entertain her.
Yeah.
100%.
You
so
are
it's KU, right? Is the person who does the development for HoloCure?
I think you're nailing it.
I think it's KU. And in general, the back and forth between KU and Kaela has just been fantastic.
It sustains me.
Because K is just like, go get Sleb. And Kaela's like, no Sleb, more HoloCure. And
I will delay HoloCure until you're done sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just this wonderful back and forth. It's very cute, very funny. And Kaela, again, like you said, has 100% of the game again. And that's just not acceptable, I guess.
Yeah, she is already upset, asking for more content. I think he said something along the lines of, I just went on vacation. Yeah. It has just begun.
KU is literally in Japan right now.
Yeah.
On vacation. And Kaela's like, when more? KU's like, please, my fingers, they are already worked to bone. So...
And you know what? Shout out in general. Before we start this podcast, I didn't know a ton about Kaela. I'm surprised how often we've brought her up.
I know, yeah. We've talked about her a lot.
She's really hardworking and really entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she streams like 47 hours a day.
She really does.
It's like you open a stream and it's Kaela and you're like, oh, maybe not right now. And you open another stream and it's her again. Like, she has so much work going for her, and it's crazy because, again, she doesn't sleep, I guess.
Yeah. So huge kudos.
Exactly. Like, mad respect for her and mad respect for KU for making a fantastic... Basically, the highest quality fan game I can remember seeing in quite some time for any fandom.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of achievements, would be amiss not to mention a certain achievement achieved by a VTuber that she achieved achievingly. Ironmouse.
Was it a trophy?
Ironmouse has won the Best VTuber award at the Streamer Awards show.
Congratulations, Ironmouse.
This is the least controversial thing to happen for those awards.
Exactly. It's well deserved. She's had explosive growth over the past year. Her Twitch channel has literally exploded. She was the most subbed person on Twitch for at least a month. I think it was 2 months at one point. Mm-hmm. She had a subathon that lasted, I think, a month and a half or something like that. She's just done crazy numbers this year, and it's well deserved. She's a really funny, entertaining person. She's really cool. Her play back and forth with Connor is legendary. Mm-hmm. It's just great all around. It's great to see Mousey winning. Like, yeah. That's what's awesome, is, like, she's obviously a good person. She works really hard for her audience. She's got a lot of health issues. Look up the Immune Deficiency Fund if you have something that you want to donate to right now. Mm-hmm. It's a good organization, and it's one that she fully supports because it's very close for her. So, yeah, just in general, it's awesome to see Mousey winning. She deserves it.
Congratulations.
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 Do you have anything about Mousey you'd like to espouse?
I mean, I haven't watched her too much recently, but I did follow her on her uptick in popularity, mm-hmm. and she's just continued to explode ever since.
Yeah,
and I do remember her saying that, like, streaming is not just streaming to her. Like, streaming is her life. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, it is her life because of her health issues.
It's how she interacts with the world.
Yeah, that's all she has. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that it is her world, and she really deserves recognition for it.
Yeah, and one of the things that made her really happy was she got to buy her parents a house. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was just her mother or from her parents, I don't know her family situation, but I know she did buy her parents a house, which is, you know, again, fantastic. She was very happy to be able to do that, and like that's crazy cool to be able to do.
I remember her talking about that before. She said she used to have to basically budget her parents' money on how much medication she could have to survive. And then now that it's reversed and she has all the money she could ever need, and now it's her parents were used to living so poor, just like that. She just has to buy things for her parents now without telling them, just to get them to take it.
Yeah, because they'll question where they keep questioning where it came from and like if it's okay and stuff. And so it's such a wonderful. I mean, like it's sort of a traditional rags to riches story, but it's you know beautiful in its own right either way.
Traditional, but it's good that it happens.
Yeah, it's fantastic. One of the other things I wanted to highlight real quick was the other folks that were there at the Streamer Awards. Obviously, I just mentioned Connor. He won an award. That's great for him. He won actually for his cyclothon, which raised money for the Immune Deficiency Fund.
Congratulations, Connor.
Congratulations, Connor. And good job. Very good work. He's doing it again, possibly right now. I know it was very soon after the end of the awards. I think he said within 5 days he was doing it again. So check it out. Outside of that, though, the other VTubers that were up for the award were Shoto, Shy Lily, and you might have to remind me on the last one.
Looks like it says Vebe.
Vebe. Okay, yes. Vebe, obviously a huge streamer. She's at VShojo with Ironmouse. Fantastic content creator. Shoto, I don't know anything about, and I'm sorry about that. Shy Lily is a horny orca.
Yes, that's the extent of my knowledge.
Yes, she's shorter than Kobo, but she did just do a collab with Kobo. I can't talk, apparently. So Shy Lily and Kobo just did a collab, and that was whole new levels of gremlin right there.
I don't... They're both streamers who, like... Kobo, you need someone else there to tame her. Shy Lily has a nature to her that's like, I could probably do 3 minutes and I'm good. These two together is like, wow. It's like sprinkles and ice cream we forgot to cake.
Yeah. Personally, I found it unwatchable. I can't lie. It's a lot to watch. I watched a few clips. They were pretty funny. I was like, thank God I can't watch any more of this.
And Kobo has been kind of growing on me too a little bit.
I'm glad you like her.
I like Kobo a lot, but she always needs someone there to tame her in. She needs to be like, there needs to be someone going, oh, what's wrong? Ah! You know, she keeps going.
Yeah.
It can't just be her going, ah.
She's very good at that though. I can't even express how I feel about Kobo in words, I fear.
I'm adopted?
I love her for the fact that she's Kiwawa's daughter.
Yeah.
I will never watch a stream with her.
She's family.
But I respect the ever-living crap out of her. She's very entertaining, very strange. She's a very distinct taste, I'll say. She's extremely over the top. And I will say nothing bad about Kobo. I can't watch Kobo. It's just too much.
She is by far the most willing person to scream.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Like, some people commit to the bit, some people are a bit.
Yeah, she is the bit.
Well,
that being said, lovely singing voice.
Oh my god.
So good.
She's hideously talented.
Yeah, and she plays guitar and stuff as well. She's fantastic at it.
By far the best clip to get a vibe for what she's like is that one clip I showed you guys, the Happy Birthday Kaela.
Yeah.
Where she's doing all these fucking banshee screams and then, Happy Birthday Kaela.
Yeah, and she just sings wonderfully. And
oh god.
So like, again, I can tune in to listen to her sing. Sure, I'm down for that. But, I don't think we'd mesh at a party.
Yeah, I think
I'd be like standing in the corner having a drink, and I would hear someone screaming on the other side of the room, and it'd be her, and I'd be like, avoiding that one. But at the same time, I respect her. She has a fantastic singing voice. She's a very talented streamer, of course. So I'm glad she's growing on you, Carlos. She's like a fungus on me.
Speaking of fungus, I don't know how this relates at all, but it's the next item on our list we have.
What tier is it? S tier?
Finana. Ryugu from Niji Sanji has started playing Nier Automata.
That's definitely words. Nier Automata, that's a great game.
That's
Carlos,
one of my
tell us more.
favorite games of all time. Carlos, tell us about your item that you put on the list.
Well, for those of you who may be familiar with Yoko Taro, you don't need an explanation.
You don't. Just embrace him.
Yeah.
I fucking love Yoko Taro. Can we next week our indie focus on Yoko Taro? He is a VTuber.
Sure, I mean, why not?
hey, he wears the
Moon Man mask.
Yeah,
Moon Man
the
mask.
meal mask.
Yeah.
Meal, yeah. He can count.
Play Nier Automata, it's a really great game.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that game to fucking bits.
But yeah, Finana started streaming it, and I remember she said at some point, it's like, I didn't think I was really going to like this game or play it for very long because I'm horrible at action games.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but I'm really liking this a lot.
Finana seems like kind of a fauna-like character, where she's soft-spoken kind of, unless I'm thinking of the wrong one.
She's pretty soft spoken, and
Okay.
she's just a really genuinely nice girl. But
Gotcha.
she's got like a little bit of perv to her.
Ah, okay.
Just a little bit, because she's like,
A smidge of Shy
They
Lily.
put something in the
Yeah.
water over there at Niji Sanji.
it's just like she goes from being like fauna, and then just out of nowhere you get that little smidge of Shy Lily out of nowhere.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of... most VTubers have a little bit of that pervert in them that just comes out now and again.
Yeah.
Frankly. Comes with being an anime fan, you fucking weebs.
She really appreciated it when the buff shirtless men came in into when she was
Oh,
playing.
the brothers!
The
brothers.
Yeah.
Adam. Yep.
She
Adam and the other one I like less.
Yeah, exactly.
God, he is fucking ripped.
Some folks be ripped, dude.
I wish I too was born from a giant fetal orb of robots.
Become as Gods.
Yeah, Become as
probably
God.
The best song.
This cannot continue. This cannot. Thank you, Yoko Taro. Come on the podcast if you like VTubers.
Yeah, come on, talk to us.
What the
Yoko.
fuck's up, Yoko?
Why are you dipping us?
Out of everybody you shouted out at this point, he'd be the most
likely,
believable.
by far, hideously way more like everyone
You
else.
should
Is like,
actually tweet at him.
he'll come on and sit down, and he'll just be like, "So I'm shutting down my mobile game, and everyone you know dies in it. You have a week." That's a real thing he actually did.
There you go.
I fucking love that man. Speaking of people playing video games and other people here at the table, like, it appears as though Selin has started playing Destiny 2.
Selin. New waifu. Selin.
It's that easy,
That
ladies.
bitch has started playing Destiny 2. Now, you might not know this about me. I like Destiny 2 a lot. It's a fun game. It's a good video game. I like it. I play it a lot.
Are you sure? You sure you didn't dream
But
that?
Nick, I've never heard of Destiny 2.
So Destiny 2 is a future sci-fi first-person shooter action MMO. It's a really good game. I like it a lot. I've played a lot of Destiny and Destiny 2 over the course of my lifetime so far. And watching Solon play it was absolutely hysterical. Her personality as a VTuber is great. She's very funny. Her reactions were so over the top.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I heard she's a huge gamer.
She do be gaming. So she started off by playing the first mission of... I don't know if this is how she started off exactly. This is the point where I joined in. Was where she was playing through the first mission of the new Lightfall expansion. She got to the room where she was fighting a new enemy called the Tormentor. And then I watched her have a 5-minute screaming mental breakdown as she ran in circles trying not to die. It was great. I recommend it. Then she played a couple other story missions from different DLCs that she was just like, fuck it, I'll buy it. Then she fired up Crucible, which is the competitive multiplayer, the PvP, and that's whenever she was really gaming. And every time she got a kill, she'd be like, guys, I'm gaming. I'm doing it. Very fun, very great to watch. I recommend it. She's my new waifu. Moving on. Unless, did you have anything about Destiny 2 or Solid? Anyone?
I heard Destiny 2 is alright.
It's a pretty good game. I like it.
Yeah.
7 out of 10.
So when's the Destiny 2 podcast?
Oh man! All right, so we're gonna move on. We're going back to VTubers. I'm sorry, I had my moment. I'm good now. Let's go.
Speaking of VTubers, That's the strongest segue humanly possible. That can go
Who the
anywhere.
hell is talking about VTubers here?
Kiara and Toa did a collab.
Those two are great. Kyo was great. Towa's great.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know this one was happening. I feel bad about that.
Yeah, so they did a Zetsudan karaoke where they just, with Zetsudan being just a chatting stream. So they chatted for a while, sang a song, chatted for a while, sang a song. Those two get along like a house on fire. And it's just great to watch because it started with Kiara like vaguely flirting and then Toa vaguely flirting.
Aggressively gay.
Aggressively gay, Kiara. That's why we love her, frankly. And it was just really, it was a very good stream. Very entertaining, very funny. They carried each other through it really well. The singing was great, of course. It was a 2-person karaoke, so they were like fumbling over which part was going to be sung by who half the time, and it was awesome to watch. The chatting stuff was interesting from what I could understand. Just in general, really fun stream. I recommend it. Kiara's done a couple collabs this week. They've both been, or all of them that I've seen have been really good.
Kiara's been doing a lot of like collabs and just trying to mesh with people.
So I've always kind of thought of Kiara as the collab queen, basically, because especially with Holotalk in her repertoire.
Oh yeah.
Like her entire goal was to expose the Japanese talents more to the Western audience, and I guess sort of vice versa as well. And she did a great job.
Picking up where Coco left off.
Yeah, exactly. An orange-haired woman that can speak Japanese and English, and she's just like, let me bring these worlds together. It's great. Who would fault anyone for that?
And that's an important thing too, is the scientific pursuit to bring worlds together. If only there was a Vtuber who's keeping track of our rocketry.
Okay. Let me tell you about something interesting. A little while ago on this podcast, we talked about a VTuber named Clear Rocket Channel. She's an indie VTuber. She's really cool. She live streams along with rocket launches as they happen and does commentary on them. And she is adorable. She gets very excited when the rockets successfully take off. It's really fun to watch rocket launches with her. I sort of like initially treated her as sort of a curiosity because she was cool. She's an indie. She has a niche. I ended up watching her like 3 different times this past week because she did 3 different really good streams. 2 of the streams were for the same rocket that got scrubbed both times. Which was great because, you know, it gets scrubbed and she's like, what happened? Oh no, you know? And, yeah, she's trying to figure out as it's happening because the people that are doing the launches are speaking in English. And she's just like, you know, she picks up enough here and there to understand what's going on. If somebody says the mission's scrubbed, she's like, scrubbed, you know. And so that was interesting to watch. That was Terran 1, which is from a company called Relativity Space, was the rocket that they were sending off. It, again, got scrubbed twice. They failed to launch twice, which is unfortunate, but they are trying to launch a fully 3D printed rocket into space.
Oh.
Very interesting technology.
Yeah, that's lofty.
They built the rocket in 6 days.
I don't do a lot in 6 days.
No, I can't make a podcast in 6 days. So they're really trying to push things forward in an interesting new direction, and that's really cool. Both times they had to scrub it, unfortunately, but they're going to come back again at some point, I'm sure, with another launch. The last one that she did that I saw was the Dragon capsule return, which was bringing astronauts back from the International Space Station, which was really cool. I believe they had 5 astronauts on board. It might have been some mix of astronauts, cosmonauts, et cetera, you know. I believe it was 4 or 5 people they brought back down, though. And her saying Okairi whenever they came back and landed in the water was the cutest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life. Because that's just, if you don't know, that just means welcome home. And I was like, she said it, and I was like, oh, my heart. Immediately, just like, goddamn, she's too cute. That's fucking adorable. Yeah, so again, she's very entertaining. I go by the Fubuki rule of I don't know what she's saying, but it doesn't matter because she's cute, so it works. I recommend her. Check her out. Have you guys watched her at all?
No, not since last podcast.
Okay, so the other thing is, I was watching this with a friend of mine who just watches rocket launches in general. He's very into rocketry. and he pointed out that she has a little like rocket hairpin,
Mm.
and underneath that she has like a strip of hair that's painted red, or that's dyed red, because it's
The Rocket Trail.
yeah, it's the Rocket's trail. And during, I think it was the second Relativity Space launch, she actually brought up her like design sheet and showed off that she had like 30 different references in her character design to different like areas of rocketry and stuff. It was really interesting.
She is so fucking passionate.
Yeah, and she's up to like 30,000 subscribers too, so check her out.
Congratulations. Good work. Speaking of
We
wrestling.
stand by the things we recommend here.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, Miko has decided to play the newest WWE game.
So Miko's back on her bullshit. She's doing another WWE stream or series of streams, potentially. Last year there was an epic saga of Miko and others creating characters in WWE 2K22 that were based on HoloLive members. I watched her today in WWE 2K23 create herself as a character and then start making a stage. And at that point I tuned out because I can't do this again.
Oh God, not again.
It was like a month-long saga last year of her playing WWE with a bunch of different HoloLive characters that she and I believe other people created. And it was great because at one point I'm pretty sure they had a tournament that was just like...
Wasn't there that one fucking wrestle stream where like Guro was like the narrator for it?
Yeah, I watched
Thank
that.
God I wasn't hosting
So-
that. That was great.
I think that was AI. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just had
Oh yeah.
AI
That's all you do
fighting
is
each other.
that's what you do. You narrate the fight. She got that from other streamers.
Yeah, so Miko did that too.
Yeah.
There was a whole series of different VTubers, of course, in HoloLive that did this with this game.
Dude.
And it's starting again, I guess.
It's so much fucking fun.
It is funny, though.
This
it
is
is awesome to watch.
This is a total aside, but I'm grabbing a hold of it because I like to be me. There's a stream group I like to watch that aren't VTubers, except for one of them. And
It ties in, folks.
if you need something good to watch, just watch Vine Wrestle, because that's where you can see Germa beat up Vinny Vine Sauce, and it's great. And also, like, whatever inside jokes they have, like a Hulk Hogan ripoff. Bulk Bogan.
I like that.
Mousey. Finally, I'm being organic. Okay, back to pretending to like VTubers. So I heard that the fourth fest starts March 18th. Tell us more, Carlos.
Aside from the fact that it's very complicated.
Yeah, this is the part where the notes are just boom.
So this whole thing started where I'm like, when is that? Oh, it's this weekend as of the recording.
We have so little time to read this.
So I went to it and started looking up information on it because I didn't even really know what it was at the time.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, okay. It's kind of like you can buy tickets for it. So I went to their website, saw about a dozen different tickets listed, had literally no idea what I was looking at because it was all in Japanese and I did not see the English button on the side. So, did what I usually do, go to Reddit and looked it up, and there's like a 1,000 word essay explaining what it is and what the tickets are. So, there's a lot of free content actually. You don't really have to buy tickets.
You can if you want to support the talents, or if there's specific things that you want to see that are ticketed, yeah.
There's a decent chunk of stuff that is ticketed. It is very, very expensive, and there will not be subtitles more than likely.
Mhm.
So that will be completely up to you if you decide to partake in that.
The Reddit also did just mention, I noticed this while skimming, that if you're lucky, one of the people who are doing a watch along will be translating for you. So,
if you're lucky.
Kiara, please. Unless she's actually there, in which case, oh well, lol.
I think that's a big reason of why all of the talents, including Crony, are probably in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Just because HoloFest is a big deal. What is it also called? HoloLive Super Expo is the full title, I think.
Yeah.
It's the fourth one. It's a weekend-long, basically, convention in Japan. Tons of events, tons of live streams. Last year they had a really cool Gura statue at Fest 3.
Oh, was that the life-size one?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be weird about it.
I'm not weird about it. Why are you weird about it?
No, it's more like a general. That's like the Royo U.
Stop being weird about it. They also had like a display of all their cosplay, like of all their
Oh,
outfits.
yeah, I remember those. Was that the one where like the small Ame was walking around?
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
they had Miko Danye, and they had Small Ame.
Yeah.
And they had Shuba Duck. And I think they had another one shoot, and I feel bad because I don't remember who it
I
was.
want small Ame to walk inside of a Wendy's and calmly enter the line.
That would be fantastic. At one point, they gave small Ame a gun.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, nothing can go wrong there.
Small Ame's just exercising her rights.
So, expect lots of great memes, if nothing else, but also a ton of great content. There's going to be, what do they call it, Bright Parade or something? That's going to be...
Yeah, Bright Parade.
That's the main event, the main concert event, I believe.
Yep, so they always do a big main concert. There's also usually a few side concerts they do that are smaller.
Odds are good your Oshi's there.
And
100%.
this year they're partnered with Deco 27.
Yeah.
So that's what they have, like a whole section of the program that's going to be dedicated just to that.
Yeah, for the Holo 27 initiative, or whatever they're calling
Yeah.
it. The Avengers initiative.
Yes. That's just the cadence I found for this episode. Yeah. I sound like Billy from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
It's a good show.
It's a really good show. We'll
Do you
talk
think
about
he's
that
a
next.
VTuber now?
I believe it.
Billy, stop making me make you these mumbles.
So
I want that show to come back so bad now and do a VTuber episode. Mandy would be the best VTuber. They pay her to be mad and mean.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of VTubers that are mad and mean on purpose.
Yes, aren't they great?
That's up to you. You decide.
You decide.
Anyways, so HoloFest is a big deal. They do it once a year. It's their big convention celebration. All the talents are involved in some way, so look for where you can find them.
I know that Ina has talked about a little bit, just because over the last, basically since her 3D debut, and even before that, she's been talking about all of my dance lessons, my schedule's so packed, I don't have time to stream right now. And that's obviously what all this has been for, and a lot of them, you can tell that they've been streaming just a little bit less because of besides that they're all in Japan, basically half vacation, half collab working, but it's also practicing and getting ready for this.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty much the biggest event on their calendar every year, as far as I know. So.
Here's the thing at the end of the day, though. While this is exciting, what I always find kind of disappointing is there aren't more events that are English-speaking or, like, local. I just wish there was a Hall Live event we could talk about in the podcast that's, like, within driving distance, intended for English audiences. It may possibly involve you meeting one of your favorite VTubers.
I don't get to meet my favorite VTuber. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but guess what, bitch? Guess what? Yeah!
So, Anime Boston is happening in a few weeks.
Yes.
And they're doing, well, they were doing
It's
a
too late
lottery
now.
system. It's too late to enter now, unfortunately. And sometimes if you did enter, you didn't win.
We tried to help you last episode. We really did.
So, it was a lottery system. You could enter, and it gave you the chance to sit down and have a face-to-face discussion with a VTuber for a few minutes.
Yes, you can talk with her real face.
Yes. Face-to-screen interaction.
Yes.
And so there was a list that we went through. We'll cut to the end of the story. Cameron entered for the chance to sit down and talk with Heikos Bales, and he won. Congratulations.
I get to talk with Taco Spells.
He gets to talk with the Taco Bell. I entered to talk to Kiara, and they were like, no, you're creepy and smell weird. And I was like, okay, fair.
They figured out I'm creepy but smell okay.
There you go.
Bearable.
So I unfortunately did not win the lottery. I don't get to meet Kiara, but Cam and I had agreed that we're both going to Anime Boston if either one of us wins. So we're both going to Anime Boston. So that's cool, though.
We're going to figure it out. I'm not going to lie to you, camera person who is viewing this. I kind of wanted to lose. Every time I've ever talked with anyone with any amount of celebrity, I have crumbled to bits. I don't know what I want to say to the rat. I don't know what we're going to talk about. How do you start the conversation with her?
Yeah, it's also ironic because I really wanted to win, and it's almost like God is dead, and meritocracy rules the world, and I hate myself, and I hate everyone, and God damn it, this is bullshit. That's okay. I'll get over it.
She'll also still be there and do a panel and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm happy now.
Yeah, you can hear her talk. I can see you like crumbling into like an excited ball when you hear her like from down the hall go, "You little shit."
That's all I want.
And
I just need Kiara to call me a little shit. That's all I need.
I'm gonna sit down in a booth. I'm assuming they're doing it in a booth in some format. I'm gonna look at a screen that has Hako Spales on it. She's gonna go, "Hi." I'm gonna go, "Oh."
And then she'll say, that's a lovely singing voice.
I'd say that's not singing, I'm sobbing. And then I continue to have my panic attack on the floor for the allotted 4 minutes.
There you go.
Then they'll remove me.
And then she'd start laughing at you.
Yeah. Why'd you make it worse? It was so bad already. Why'd you make it so my VTuber likes my pain?
I just wanted to sit down and calmly ask Kiara, where do you live? And they had a problem with that. I don't understand.
This is our podcast. This is a flight of stairs.
That's how it goes.
Raid Shuttle. Waiting at the bottom of the steps.
That's exactly it. So, yeah, like I said, I'm disappointed I don't get to meet Kiara. I'm still going. I still get to see a panel with her in it. That's cool. I'm excited. I can always just super chat her, I guess, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Super chat.
I'm going to go join her membership. I never did.
Super chats.
Let's all make a vow to make one positive change in our life.
Yeah.
Between now and, I don't know, next week.
I want to stop eating arsenic.
That's a good start. I
Fine.
believe in you, person behind the camera, as well.
If you also want to stop eating arsenic, DM me on my splat.
I think we sort of hit a wall. Let's talk about AZKi.
I don't know how that's a wall, but to this week's industry focus is AZKi. I really like that timbre. We should do more with it.
No, we shouldn't. So AZKi is a V singer. She is Japanese. She is Japanese exclusive. I think that's all she speaks.
Mm-hmm.
She streams from time to time. She's generally pretty... I think she's entertaining. I think she's great. She originally was a member of INNK Music and was brought under the HoloLive label under that. And then when INNK Music was dissolved, she just joined HoloLive fully. She is a fantastic singer. You should check out her songs. She's done a bunch of songs with Sora. She's done a bunch of individual stuff. She has a couple EPs out. I think she has an album or two. In general, though, she just makes really good stuff. It's really funny to me because everybody's just like, she's so say-so. And then she has a shirt that literally says fuck on it. Like, she is say-so for the most part. Again, she's one of those 90-95% say-sos, and then the 5 to 10% comes out every once in a while. But again, generally she's just, she's on the Sora side of things. She is mostly very say-so. She's really good at GeoGuessr.
Yes, I am very aware of this reputation.
God tier at GeoGuessr. So they got permission to play GeoGuessr a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And AZKi immediately started playing and didn't stop. She has 6 different streams of it now, and that's a lot for her. She normally doesn't stream very often. She normally concentrates on her music and streams occasionally, every couple months or so. She's been playing a lot of GeoGuessr. She actually did a collab with Bay, where originally Bay was like, I'm going to show her around Australia. And then everyone in her comments was like, no, you're not. She's going to show you around Australia. And that's what happened.
I saw a little bit of that stream, especially towards the end, where she was giving Bay pointers on how to find things on the map and everything. And then at the end, they showed their final score, and Bay's like, I've never seen a score this high.
Yeah, it was a perfect 25,000 out of 25,000.
And then you look at the map, and it was 8 different points on opposite corners of all of Australia, and she got all of them.
Yeah, within I think the farthest I saw was 5 meters away. She is cracked when it comes to GeoGuessr. You gotta check out these streams because there was literally she did an RTA at one point where she got a road in Japan and she had it within 0 meters within I think it was a minute or something that she got it. She's so good at this. And again, at one point she said that she just likes to look at maps. She has just always had a hobby of looking at maps when she's bored. So it's the perfect game for her. Anyway, she's been playing a lot of it. They're really entertaining streams. She's a wonderful singer. You guys have anything you want to chime in on? Any knowledge of AZKi? Any experiences?
Honestly, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like what you said, I've seen some of her music. She's an okay character in HoloCure, so I don't know a ton about her. Unfortunately, yeah, she was a hole in my knowledge, so you just fulfilled it.
Well, she just kind of joined, within the last year or two?
Officially. She's been a member of HoloLive, actually, for a long while. She's considered Zero Gen.
Yeah, she's
our last member of Zero Gen.
On the music side of things, she's been around for ages. Mm-hmm. Just officially as, a normal member.
Yeah.
It's only been like a year or two.
Yeah, and she's also done some really cute like Minecraft streams with Sora. I'd say check those out. They're really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know what she's saying, but there's some clips out there that are translated. They're really good.
Maybe take some Japanese linguistic classes and then come back.
If you're a freaking nerd, sure.
Yeah, Nick.
I'm content just to listen to the Spotify music.
How's that going, by the way?
I finally finished the playlist.
Oh my, that's big news. You should put that on the fucking thing.
Let's update real quick. Carlos has been listening to every HoloLive song.
Every single one. And he still thinks that Play Nice is the best one, right?
It's up there. That's
Do
for
You
sure.
is the best song, you're right.
Yeah, I love Doggy God.
Anything by Suisei, there.
Yeah, anything.
She's actually one of the ones that I've actively looked up after finishing.
Okay,
the
there you go,
playlist.
Yeah.
That's because she's great.
But yeah, this playlist had over 500 songs in it, and I don't listen to music that
They are
often
making
on my own.
more. They are making so much. You are not even close to done. So many more is coming out.
I'm sure they've released like 10 songs since I started the playlist.
Easily. At very least 10 songs.
Oh, yeah.
If you include covers, it's probably a lot more.
Yeah.
So, congratulations on achieving your goal.
What
Get back
is-
to work.
I don't expect you to have titles, but what would you say is like within like the top 3?
Oh man, it's so hard to choose.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's your
they're-
homework for next time, though.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that one for a
I
while.
don't even know what my 3 favorite songs from HoloLive would be.
I know mine.
Enlighten Us.
Doggy God.
It's a good one.
Play Dice.
It's a good one.
And honestly, probably one of Callie's songs. I forget which one I like the most.
Choose now.
I just don't remember the title of it. It's the one that goes like really hard out of nowhere. I'm sorry.
It's Callie. It's just what she does.
She has good albums. I like her raps. Good raps. Solid raps.
Mhm.
Oh, I like her. I like that Scheme song. I keep forgetting the first word because it's a Japanese term.
Okay.
But that's like by the top hat producer guy who does like such good stuff. He did one of the songs for the One Piece Red film.
Oh, cool.
It was that one that go bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum. That's like his thing. He does like that jazzy offbeat stuff. It's great. Don't mind me just derailing everything to talk about my interest. Speaking of music though, we didn't add this to the thing, but we did watch Callie's new song. She did a cover.
It's very cute.
What was it like Don't Hate Me, I'm Cute or something like that?
Basically, yeah.
Which has been a trend lately. Like there's been a lot of girls saying Don't Hate Me, I'm Cute. Like Gura's been saying that, Kobo's been saying that.
Yeah.
Cuteness
And
is being weaponized again.
I have no problems with this.
Yeah.
It's an effective weapon when it comes to me.
Great cover. Callie has gotten really good at singing. The Moe Gap is incredible. It is strange and bizarre. The art is fantastic.
Yeah, overall, 10 out of 10, I guess. I didn't expect it, and I'm okay with it. She did really cool stuff.
Many PNGs in that music video. It was very high effort.
Yeah, frankly.
I feel like, no, we need to lampshade. This is a conversation we've had before. The listener deserves to know. There are 2 types of music videos. The one where the editor gets 1 PNG, and the one where the editor gets 20.
That's it.
And the one where he gets 1, you see the editing come out. There's all these zip zaps and all this extra assets he has. Zoom text. So you want it.
Transitions you've never thought of, or heard of, or seen.
Here's the image crop, so it's just the feet. Here's the image crop, so it's just her face. We're doing all these overlays and color changes. And now it's the full PNG again. You've earned it. You're going to see it 10 more times. I love those ones so much.
Yeah, they're weirdly the highest effort, even though
They're
both-
so high effort. They look so good.
They give these editors, nothing to work with, and they're like, create greatness, and they succeed.
If I was editing that and I got a zip file from them, and I opened the zip file and it's 1 PNG and they still zipped anyways.
No, they have 3 PNGs because they have different facial expressions. That's it, though. That's 3. They got
The facial
3.
expressions are just their own layer in the Photoshop file.
That's fair, actually.
Oh my god, I love talking about stuff like that. That's so funny to me. But we should get back on track because I'm actually excited for this indie focus because you stole one that I could have brought up. This is one of the few indies I actually know.
Well, that's good. I gave you something to talk about.
Yeah, that we can talk about together because you've done research more recently. This week, our indie focus is GirlDM.
Yes. Have you heard of GirlDM, Carlos?
Maybe, but I don't recognize the name.
GirlDM is a green cat girl.
And
Does this help you?
she's a
Absolutely not.
She
Gotcha.
used to be a 3D model streamer, and she had an extremely expressive 3D model. Genuinely probably still one of my favorite 3D models.
It's incredible what she managed to
like
do
the
with
ears are twitchy, the eyes like move independently within reason.
Yeah, they
The
track.
blinks are great.
They track so well. She could puff out her cheeks. She could stick out her tongue. Like she could do crazy stuff to the model.
She's recently swapped over back to like doing more of a 2D approach, but that's whatever. The 3D stuff's still amazing.
Yeah, she still pulls out her 3D model whenever she feels like it.
So her sense of humor in general is a lot more calm and collected, but with like little witty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'd tell like stories that have like a boomer punchline at the end that was like really good. She's cute, but doesn't lean into the cutesy stuff. Like there's no ooh-oohs moments. There's no like, what do you guys think? She's just like, hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she's very straightforward. She's Canadian, so
Yeah.
You know. Her fans are called the Cheer Squad, and they do a good job cheering for her. What do we say on numbers? 243,000 followers on Twitch, 235,000 subs on YouTube, which is impressive that she got those numbers that close. That's pretty cool. She again, you said she started as 3D. She's 2D more recently. Her birthday is August 20th. She's been active since May 2022. And she's drawn all her own emotes, which is
That is very impressive.
on an artistic level. So I think that's really cool of her.
So yeah, her stuff is very cute. I'd say she's a very good, despite not being the entryway for me, she's a good rabbit hole VTuber, which is to say, you see a clip of her, you go, okay, this is the one I'll click on. And it's not going to be offensive. Like in that lens, I'd say Kobo is not a rabbit hole VTuber. You have to already be in the hobby to really appreciate what she's doing.
I would say.
Which is shrieking into the microphone with a strange reference. Whereas GirlDM, like, you can watch her talk and it's like, oh, this is a normal woman.
Yeah.
Playing video games.
With or without the model, I'm sure she'd be basically equally.
I'd probably still watch her about the model, which I think I'd say for most talents I like. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, you can picture her as not a VTuber.
Very easy.
Which is a great way to trick people into liking VTubers.
Exactly. That's what you have to do, trick them.
You either appeal to the people who like Let's Plays or the people who like anime. Like, you either fall for the animations or the funny ha-has in the video game.
Exactly.
And eventually the two merge together. VTuber.
Yeah, so I described her in the document as chill but excitable. She has moments where she gets a little hype, but for the most part, she's very relaxed, very cool, just conversational. She can speak Japanese on a conversational level, actually, as well. She speaks some German. Just in general, she seems really cool. She doesn't swear a lot, so she's mostly family-friendly, but if she's doing a horror stream, she'll curse it up, I guess.
Yeah.
But she has a pretty good clip game on YouTube. Just in general,
yeah, her clip game is great.
I've seen from her has been really good.
I've seen like shorts of her. I've seen a lot of short clips of her. I've never actually tuned into like a full live stream.
I don't think I have either.
But I've seen her around.
But she streams mostly on Twitch. Well, she streams almost entirely on Twitch, as far as I know.
Yeah, and that's some of the best clips.
Yeah, she'll do dedicated YouTube content now and again, but for the most part, she's Twitch. So.
Well, that's a huge divide for most of the VTuber fan bases. Is you're either all YouTube or all Twitch.
Yeah, well, it's a big choice you have to make in general because Twitch won't stop you from going on YouTube. So you do have to pick a faction.
It's just like how when we were talking about the streamer awards earlier. That's that's run by Twitch.
Yeah. So nope. What's a HoloLive?
Exactly.
Yeah. They whenever Ironmouse was accepting her award, she was being held by Ludwig, and he's not on Twitch anymore. He's exclusively YouTube.
Yeah.
So like, whenever they made a post about it, they cropped him out of the picture. The official Twitch account made a post towards Ironmouse congratulating her and cropped in so far that it was just the iPad with Ironmouse on it, and they excluded Ludwig from it. And then somebody called them out as petty on it, and they were just like, oh well.
It's not petty, it's contractional.
It's really fun.
Or maybe it is petty. Twitch, if you'd like to discuss this with us, our email's always open.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just looking through her YouTube real quick, shamelessly, because I like her thumbnails. Looks like at some point she collabed with Ironmouse.
Not shocking.
Maybe click on that. I feel so. Maybe these two ladies would be funny together. Just a little bit of entertainment just for you, buddy. So yeah, that's our indie focus for this week.
Yeah, GirlDM's really cool. Check her out.
One other thing I'd like to mention, you talked earlier about how expressive her 3D model was. I've noticed that a lot, specifically about indie VTubers. A lot of indie VTubers have models that blow, like, just completely blow out of water all of the big companies.
So here, I think this is something I can kind of grasp at, kind of knowing some stuff about how art functions. So let's look at it as a HoloLive perspective. And this won't go full K-fob broken, but I'm going to talk a little more frankly than usual. When you join HoloLive, your model for the most part is done in waiting. They open auditions when they have designs in mind and people they're used to working with, contacts they like. The person who designed Bay's appearance is a well-known artist who also designed most of the stuff for Fire Emblem Engage. They're working with reputable artists who are in the industry, and they're going to focus on artists in the industry because they want that.
Mm-hmm.
When indie VTubers come out, they're reacting, first of all, in this cultural bubble, the indie VTubers we refer to are the people who are happening after HoloLive, after Ninja Sanji. They are reacting to people who have already made some of the craft. So they have a unique benefit of, one, you can shop around. Two, you're not married to the model you get. If your name is Snuffy and one day you wake up and you hate your old design, not hate, but dislike it, you can go to a new artist, a new rigger, a new person who makes all this stuff, and they will do it for you, and you don't have to tiptoe. You can just jump out of the old design if you don't like it anymore.
Oh, Ironmouse has done that like crazy. She's got probably more than 24 models at this point, and they're a lot of them are drastically different.
Yeah, I mean, even GirlDM, who we were just talking about, she has the 3D model, she has a normal 2D model, she has a 2D model where she's literally a cat.
Yeah.
Like,
the HoloLive girls...
You can do more expressive and interesting things because you're not restricted by the company.
The HoloLive girls have also talked about before. They can't do most design stuff on their own. I think they've been pretty transparent with what they're allowed to do. You can get your feet up on a desk. You can commission a new backdrop. You can change your UI. But if you want a new outfit, you need to wait up because we're going to sync merch with it. We're going to want to check to see if we want other people getting new designs at the same time. Like, you'll see them every once in a while go like, here you go, Callie, new hair design. By the way, we didn't have them to dog hair. Callie let her hair down, woo.
Yeah.
But Callie can't do that on her own. She has to message management, make sure that's cool. Management picks the artist for her, and then they do it. Callie can be a part of that conversation, but if you're indie, you can pick the artist you think will do the best job. They will send you a design, and you can reply back, that's dog shit, make it better.
Yeah.
You have more conversation, and you have more to lose if you don't look great. Like,
I suppose the unfortunate example of that was Iris. She was she was not that great.
Good Lord, I mean,
that well accepted at first, and her model did not change for a very, very long time.
Dude, 100%. Like, I was there when all these when all the streamers from that era came out, and I remember Iris's model put me off at first. It grew on me, but it always had that goldfish effect where it's like, I'm not 100% sure where she's facing. I'm not comfortable. Design was perfect. I loved her old design. New design's great too.
I mean, Iris in general was just so intricate compared to the other HoloLive personalities and talents. Was hers considered a full re-debut?
Yeah, like the hunt, like, you know, it was like the curtains. She redescended. She remade her intro.
Yeah, and that's something that, like, whenever you have a major character basically overhaul, they'll do a re-debut instead of an update or a new outfit or whatever. It's its own thing if you don't know about it, but it's more of a big deal. And so that in itself happening for Iris is something I'd never seen for any HoloLive talent up to this point. I've seen characters get redesigns, but they weren't re-debuted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know that's happened for a few different HoloLive talents in the past. But her getting a whole re-debut was pretty incredible.
Unprecedented.
I mean, Kiara's debuted 3 times, but that's because she got banhammered once.
Yeah.
A couple other things happen. You know, she's a phoenix. She comes back. But either way, Iris, at first I wasn't crazy about her new model, honestly. I liked the old one because it was so distinct and I had it so heavily associated with her. But the new model's grown on me. It's fine now. It's just one of those adjustment periods.
Yeah, like, I prefer some of the elements of the old model's look, but the new model's just, it's easier to watch. It's more expressive. The color palette, it falls more in line. Like, just to be essential, HoloLive is about having a large cast. Mm-hmm. I think it's really important that no one steps too far outside the art design, just for the sake of the fact that it's a brand. You're in a brand.
It's interesting, too, because you can look at some of the girls, and their designs are substantially more distinct from others. You look at Anya. Anya looks very different from everyone else. Ame's eyes look so different compared to most of the other girls. It's things like that. And again, Anya's eyes are a big thing. The eyes are the gateway to the soul. Yeah. And so when they're different, you notice it
It
like,
really
really
does.
hard. And those two in particular stand out very strongly. Flare usually looks really different compared to the others in a lot of ways. So it's interesting because like everyone has their own mama or papa, you know, that designed them, as they like to call them. Kiara has Huke Papa, who designed her, and you know, Watame is designed by Ui Mama. So they have their designers that they call mamas and papas. I think that's really funny and cute.
Yeah, it's art imitating life.
I know, right? And it makes sense because they spawned them. It's the creation of them. So either way, there's probably dozens of different artists that have worked, but they all have certain constraints that they have to hit. Obviously, all the characters are humanoid. Mm-hmm. It's funny because some of the characters are, you know, more heavily animalistic than others. You've got cat girls, you've got dog girls, and then you've just got Subaru, who is a duck. But you've also got Noelle, who is just a knight.
At some point, we're gonna have to have this breakdown. I think at some point we're gonna like reduce ourselves to tier lists and like broad discussion. We have to talk about like from like most elaborate lore to least.
Oh, 100%.
I am a schoolgirl who likes video games. I'm a dog who likes video games. I'm the embodiment of time.
Like, they really did go hard whenever they came out with Council.
I love Council to death. I love how fucking try-hard that intro was, and now like they're the weirdest.
It's hard to gauge Hololive on who's the weirdest.
Nature is healing.
Oh my God. Anyways, it's interesting that they all have a certain level of difference that they're allowed. Again, the one that stands out in my mind is Anya. She has a very different design, especially with her eyes, to the point where it became a meme. And they were just photoshopping Anya's eyes onto everyone for a while.
Oh, that would have been funny.
It's really good. You should check it out. So it's, again, one of those things where they're allowed to go in different directions to a certain extent.
Yeah, but whenever you get that one that looks different, it reminds me of when you play those gacha games. Like, my frame of reference is Fire Emblem Heroes. Mm. You get that, and you get, like, Eliwood, and he looks fantastic. Then you get Hector, it's like, they look so similar. Then you get Odin, and he does not look... He looks like he came out of, like, a tapestry. Very different art style. You're like, so you're going to be standing next to him, Roy and Eliwood, huh? And he goes, yeah. I don't know, like, I love that stuff where it's like a media product, and within it there's just so many different art styles.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to a certain extent have to have an eye for that.
Yeah,
like everyone can look at Anya and be like, there's something different. Not everybody's gonna look at Noelle and Flare and see differences.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to like the fine details. So there's a suspension of disbelief in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, there's a lot of just personal preference between them too.
Yeah.
Because personally, for me, Lammy stands out like a lot.
Yeah, she does have a different and distinct style to her. All right, birthdays and miscellaneous. Who's got a birthday?
Kaori.
Happy birthday, Kaori!
Yay! March 15th.
March 15th. Happy birthday.
Is there anyone else, Nick?
No.
All right.
It actually was just Cronies yesterday.
It was Cronies' birthday.
Hey!
Happy birthday.
Hey! I'm sorry, I'm on some shit.
We're all on some shit right now. It's been a long podcast. We're grateful for everybody who stopped by, gave us a listen, and hung out for a little while. If you enjoyed what you heard, please drop us a review on whatever podcast service you listen to us on.
Gosh.
If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and drop us a comment about what you thought about what we said.
We are sad enough to read it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star review. Anything lower than a 5-star review actually does not help us in the algorithm at all. I know, I said the word. I'm just being truthful based on my knowledge of how other podcasts work. Leave us a 5-star review and maybe write down something funny. Maybe we'll read it.
I certainly will. I'll read it on the podcast.
I'll
say your name.
On the pod. Carlos will say your name.
Yeah, it's like we're the VTubers now. So yeah, again, we really appreciate it. Everybody and anybody who stopped by and listened to us.
It's been more than 0.
And that's impressive. That in itself.
I love you.
He loves you.
I'm cheap. I have a car.
Things are getting a little weird now. We're going to go ahead and end it, but thank you again for hanging out, watching us. Leave us a comment, leave us a review. We'll see you next week.
Later.
See ya.